It's good to be here. I'd just like to thank you for not being 8th graders, and what a great job you're doing at not being 8th graders. I was with 8th graders today from 4 o'clock to, from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock, like 80 of them, doing a confirmation retreat. You can only imagine how excited and riveted they were to the entire experience and invested in it and doing everything they could to make it flourish and work. Are you with me so far? Yeah. And we were in a women's club in River Forest. Like, just the whole thing was odd. And it was a former women's club which had been purchased by this family 5 years ago. And Frank Lloyd Wright's one of his first draftsmen did this house, so it has a lot of Frank Lloyd Wright-y stuff in it. And it was just amazing that a single family lived in this house. And we have 80 people in their living room. And in fact, 88th graders in their living room. And I kept thinking, something's going to break soon, and we're going to be responsible for it, you know. So it's very anxiety-provoking. And I got in there, and the woman sort of showed me around and said, "Don't worry, it's going to be fine." And she said, "I do have an English bulldog that who is very affectionate, but completely, I can't do anything to control her. So she might just come and join the retreat at some point." So I'm like, really? That'd be great. English bulldog and 80 8th graders. Like, what a combination. So this bulldog comes down. I swear to God, this bulldog is about 2 feet, like, thick, just across. And maybe a foot and a half from the ground. I mean, it's just this block of canine reality. And really, when the woman said, you know, it's not like you can do anything, the bulldog went wherever she wanted to go and did whatever she wanted to do. So I'm giving the talk, the bulldog's like walking around on the little stage. It was hilarious. And who would have thought? River Forest Women's Club, and I got Louise the bulldog with me to give the 8th grade retreat. It did keep the kids calm. Until they discovered she was gentle, the first half hour they're like, "Oh, I think I'm going to pay attention." I'm like, "Good, I'm going to sick Louise out of you." So, I'm delighted to be here tonight with relative elderly people. And as I understand it, our task is to explore any correlations between Ignatian spirituality, or Ignatius, and relationships. And I'm an Ignatius guy. My uncle is a Jesuit, was a Jesuit, who I refer to him as the father of my soul, and it's a very, very good description. When I was 5 years old, I watched him in a play at Marquette University, and on the way home I said to my mom, "I want to be like him." And I never wavered in my desire or declaration. He died January 16th at about 11:17 p.m., which tells you a little bit about what his death meant to me and how formative he was to me. I went to Campion Jesuit High School, which is a boarding Jesuit high school. It closed the year after I left. I don't think there was any correlation necessarily. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience. As a 14, 15, 16, and 17-year-old, I got to live with about 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 men who were Jesuit scholastics, who worked in the dorms and coached all the football teams. And I'm telling you what, as a 15-year-old young man, having the privilege of spending that much time with men in their 30s who were committed to spirituality, you know, some more rooted, some more mature than others, but still, it was a very formative experience for me. I subsequently, then I went to John Carroll University, also a Jesuit school, contemplated becoming a Jesuit, sort of went, you know, did about the 3-year discernment thing that almost killed me, and decided not to go that route. But then I taught at Loyola Academy in Wilmette, a Jesuit school, for 18 years. So I have a lot of, like, Jesuit, I feel like I've been needed by Jesuitness, you know, like, just got it in you. So in light of that, and I also wanted to keep it relatively simple tonight, and basically I'm a storyteller, and I find the soul in story. So I'm just going to give a little setup and then share some stories with you. So I just thought to myself, when I think Jesuit, what happens in my head? And this is what comes to mind. Father James Scott, an old school guy, on every one of our papers in the upper right-hand corner for earth science, Earth science was the science that kids who were going to go into a future of theology took, for their science. And so I wasn't going to touch like any of those hardcore deals, so you took earth science, me and the other guys, the other poetry people. So James Scott, God bless him, every paper you had to write at the top, AMDG. If you didn't write AMDG, you were history. You just lost like 18 points right off the top. And AMDG, if I remember correctly, I think it suggests that all things for the greater glory of God. Like this quiz, greater glory of God. This class, greater glory of God. This evening together, as young adults or semi-young adults, whatever category we're in, for the greater glory of God. Wake up in the morning for the greater glory of God. It's such a good theory, but like, how seriously do we take it? Sometimes if you just shift something slightly, it gets your attention again. And one of my colleagues, I was talking about this, and he said, I've heard that so many times I don't even hear it when it's said, but I wonder if we said it, how glorious can you make it? It's like, oh, that's it. That's it. So today, how glorious can you make it? The relationship with my 96-year-old, 67-pound, diaper-wearing, going blind, 18-month hospice mom. How glorious can I make it? This breath, how glorious can I make it? This relationship, how glorious. How glorious, you can make it pretty glorious. That's the declaration. It can be pretty glorious. How glorious is it? Not too glorious. Because I almost got bit by Louise today, the Flagstaff dog, and then the 8th graders didn't cooperate, blah, blah, blah. So on any given day, it's potentially glorious. How glorious it is, I think, depends on how we navigate the day with God. A second Jesuit thing that came to mind is they have this thing just called magis, which I think is more. And it's sort of a masculine-y type thing. Bleed later, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It can be a little like, funky like that. But the suggestion is there's always more. And the way that the sort of hardcore, the military kind of Jesuit thing was, you can always do more, which is possible, but I'm not sure I like you can always do more. I like the notion there's always more. And I'm fascinated by the notion of mystery. And Richard Rohr talks about mystery. And he says, mysteries aren't mysteries because they're inaccessible, they're mysteries because they're infinitely accessible. Normally, when someone says something's a mystery, they're sort of giving us permission to forget about it. Oh, I don't know, it's a mystery. Ask the transmission guy. I don't know, it's a mystery. Ask the blood pressure guy. I don't know, it's a mystery. Ask the Pope. So when they say it's a mystery, they're like, you're never going to get it, so just forget about it. Mysteries aren't mysteries because you're not going to get it. They're mysteries because you're never going to get to the bottom of it. It's not a mystery because you can't get into it. It's a mystery because once you get into it, you'll never get to the bottom of it. There's 10,000 layers to any really good mystery. And it's that, for some people, that's frustrating. For an ADD guy like myself, that's like, sweet. We're never going to finish? I love that. This 27-year marriage, you're never going to finish it? No. The mystery of this divorce, you're never going to finish it? No. The mystery of this body that gravity is having more and more of an effect on, you're never going to figure all this out? Like, no. This church, this wounded, beautiful, heroic, cowardice church, we're never going to completely figure this out? No. This creation with the wind and all that stuff, you're never going to figure it out? No. So magis, I love the part of magis that just says there's more here to be had. There's more here than meets the eye. There's more, there's more, there's more. I love that.